Boom. What's
Hey.
up?
Hey.
Hey, we're live. What's going on, y'all?
Literally not much. Class, we got
It's
school.
Tuesday.
It's a Tuesday.
Tuesday afternoon. We've got Beth Scott and Jules Hawkins of the band Venditty, and also recently of the new premiering project Vibetown. Yeah, which I was excited to be the first guest of a few days ago.
We're blessed.
Yeah.
We're honored.
I'm currently editing that, so that's
Fantastic.
something else I'm up to. But
Oh, when's it gonna be out? Do we know? Do you know?
okay, we haven't really talked. I'm thinking maybe like Saturday, like to where that's like a good day to like be like, hey guys, we're posting,
Yeah, right.
So yeah, maybe
we gotta
this Saturday.
record the theme song tonight. So.
Yeah.
Theme song?
Theme song.
What?
Got a theme song.
I'm excited. It was really fun. I hope that this is an exciting endeavor for y'all.
Yeah, thank you. It was a lot of fun. We're very, very happy to have you as the first guest. I was
Thank you.
stressed. Everything kept stopped. Like, nothing was working. So, love that for me. I was, like, stressed the whole time. But I feel like I didn't get to, like, fully chat with you because I was, like, the whole time.
Dude, I feel that it's like stressful trying to start something new like that, especially with technology. We should tell everyone who doesn't know about Vibetown to begin with.
Yes.
Do you guys want to talk about it a little bit?
Yeah.
For sure.
So we wanted to do something in this coronavirus time that can connect people, musicians, kind of like our house shows we used to go to, that everyone used to go support each other, stay connected, have that community. But we can't do that for the foreseeable future. Temporary, but we just wanted to do something like have a little project that can bring people together and for sure keep some music going, some friendships flowing.
And so both me and Jules and I, Jules and I are both super involved in like the music, or we like to think we're super involved in the music scene.
Sure, for sure.
I want to be a music producer. Jules wants to be involved in A&R and stuff like that. And so it's a great way for us to just like stay involved, even because you can't.
Sometimes you have to make your own opportunities when it comes to the music business.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just have to
totally
something to be to have.
So we're like, this will be it'll be a fun time, like really fun, and we'll still get to stay connected with like the local musicians and what people are doing. We already have another episode that's going to come up after yours about somebody that's starting a music label out of Ohio.
What?
Really, like some of them are going to be goofy where you can be like, oh, these are my friends who were in this band and now I'm going to go like watch them do this goofy interview. But that one is more for people to watch to like if they're interested in that kind of thing. Like he goes through how he started it and like how he operates as a one-man entity right now. So that one's like really interesting. So.
Whoa, that's great. So did he come into Nashville for this?
No, we did it over Zoom. We did that one over Zoom.
Cool.
We're trying to do in person like safely, but some of them like can't. But
it is
right.
Yeah.
I feel like personally doing stuff like this, like instead of touring, like having a show, like is definitely a big adjustment for me, and it's not as natural for me. Do you guys feel like with Vibetown, is that something that was created, talking about like not being able to go to shows anymore? Do you feel like creating a show like that is something that you were already interested in doing, or is it just like strictly because you can't have shows and you can't be doing that you've had to find an online outlet? Like, would you keep doing it even if COVID, went away?
I think just like we're just like really close friends, like we're best friends, and and so last year we considered starting a podcast before any of this happened.
Oh, we got a story about that.
Oh, really?
We attempted a podcast. We got one episode in.
And
it was
what?
In the works.
Yeah. So we think we're funny, even though we're not. We laugh at ourselves, And so like we thought about it and we're just kind of like, like we don't need to, like we have other opportunities. And then with this, it was just kind of like the perfect opportunity to like actually do it.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know. I think just like since we're so like natural, like our back and forth is so natural, like we thought like bringing someone into that would be really easy because like we just are very like we also want to be friends with everyone, so it's like
Right.
kind of just natural feeling of like, yeah, I want to like see people that have the same interests as me and like want to talk
Yeah.
about
Yeah. So we first landed on the podcast idea, but it flopped. We were like, this doesn't seem very authentic. But this seems more us, I think.
Yeah.
So whenever it just kind of clicked, and we're like, okay, we need to do this. Like, I mean, I think it would have happened without Corona, but who knows?
Corona definitely caused it to.
Yeah, it made it where there weren't as many other options. It's like I feel like I've been doing music in Nashville since like high school, and I still don't quite know how to describe it, but like there's something really special about music and especially opportunities like what y'all are doing with Vibetown, where like when you get to be passionate about something that also helps other people, it just like it does everything. Like it fills you with so much joy and purpose, and you get to help other people, but then in turn they're like bringing some like creativity to your page and to your art, and it just like rises everything. It just makes everything feel better like together, you know.
For sure.
And if we can get this to be a thing that people actually watch, like then it will help artists get a bigger audience. Someone can be like, oh, I didn't know anything about this person. Now I'm a fan. Now I want to go to their show. Like, hopefully it can be beneficial for people who watch and people who are on it. I know obviously it'll take a while to get there, but
yeah,
I think
right.
And it's not like super serious. Like it's not like we're sitting down and being like
vibing.
boom, boom, boom. Like it's fun.
You're vibing.
We're vibing.
We want it to be more casual, so it's like more approachable and you know.
Yeah, I definitely felt comfortable when I was there. I definitely just felt like I was just hanging out, having a good time. So
the kitten, you had
oh my god,
the kitten set.
That was adorable. I hope that you guys keep getting to just have fun with that, and I can't wait to see where it goes. Have you guys both known each other before, like Belmont, before Nashville?
We didn't know each other before Belmont.
How'd y'all meet?
We met.
We actually like. Year. It's funny though because we actually can't remember like the first time we met. It was kind of like I remember like 2 times seeing her before we were friends, but like all of my memories have just been like since we like instantly became friends. Like I don't really.
It happened very naturally.
Yeah.
I remember the first time us like going to like the little Battle of the Bands thing. Yeah. Sitting in the grass, and I was like nervous. I was like, "Oh, this girl's cool." Like
I know. We were really into.
Yeah. We talked to each other during some like welcome week stuff.
Yeah.
And then just kind of asked each other to hang, and that was it.
That's cool. Wow. So y'all just hit it off right off the bat. Just became friends.
Media other before
for sure.
Freshman year. So that helped because I was like, oh, I know you. You know.
Yeah. So we had
right.
already, but yeah, I don't know, kind of like a cosmic connection, I guess.
Well, when did the band start? So like, when did you guys decide to start making music together as Venditty?
That's the like thing is like at Battle of the Bands when we like it was kind of the first time we actually like hung out. It was like me, Jules, and then Callista, who is our background singer of the band, and she plays instruments. We're trying to get her on more stuff in this next project if we can ever do it. And it was the 3 of us, and we were all like listening to music, and we were sitting on a blanket, and we all just like laid back and closed our eyes.
It was honestly,
and then
we didn't plan it. It was honestly like such a moment. You know, it was.
And then we all sat.
It's really strange.
It was so
to
weird,
say, but we had like an actual like.
And then when we sat up, I was like, we should make a band. And we were just like, yeah,
let's do it.
And
whoa, what?
Yeah.
Just kind of, I don't know.
And then
the universe said,
I just kind of got tired of waiting. So then like that break, I was like, hey, we're actually doing this now.
I remember sitting on the floor of your dorm room and us being like, yeah, we're actually gonna
do it. I started asking other people to like join us.
I didn't know how to play guitar until I joined Venditty because I'm a classical violinist. So I was like, okay, I have a guitar. I'm just gonna learn. So I did.
That's really awesome. Wow, I had no idea. That's special. So are y'all going into what year of school are y'all going into?
Junior.
Okay, so y'all have been, so y'all have been friends for like a little over 2 years now, and the band kicked off. The first single came out May 2019, right? That was when Life came out.
Yeah.
Did your research?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, well, I have to know. So, so that means y'all have been doing this for a year and some change now. What's that journey been like? Has there been like y'all been able to like play a lot of shows, or has it been mainly just working on the music?
We've had a lot of setbacks.
Really?
We basically have a completely different band than what we started with, and we've gone through a lot of different people. Who we have now is great. We'll see if it stays that way.
We're on a bit of a hiatus due to Corona because two of our members live on the West Coast. And
cool. Wow.
Kind of like, now that school is starting, I think that we can start getting things rolling like they were before all of this happened. We were supposed to record an EP. We were supposed to headline Dark Matter and do all these shows.
What?
We were talking about possibly playing at Blow Up Your TV.
Yeah, and there was one more concert that I forgot.
Blow Up Your TV, that would have been sick.
And it kind of...
Oh, yeah, it was Rocket Town. That was the other one.
Rocket Town.
But, we were like, finally, it was like, the way we felt when we recorded Leo, because that was when we were going to start recording the EP, was like, this is what the band was always supposed to be. Like, it was like, we're finally getting there. We had all these shows lined up, an EP, like, we were in the process of recording, and then it all didn't work out, and that's okay. Like, something will eventually come from it, hopefully, but we did end up releasing Leo as just a single, because we just happened to record that right before spring break.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Wow, so y'all recorded that right before everything hit.
Yeah.
And you put out pretty quickly. That was like May of this year.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It was so that Life was released. It was a year after Life.
Really? Same day?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Life. We road tripped with the OG Venditty band to where Beth used to work. She used to work at a studio.
In Nashville.
So we did a road trip. It was literally a favor that we got to record there. Like, it was so nice. Like, so nice. You can talk about the studio. You worked there. But it was just such an amazing experience. We got to be treated.
We drove in a van,
like royalty. We got to get.
Yeah.
Just have an amazing recording experience in a really nice studio, and nothing beats that. Like, that was so great.
Wow, that's really cool.
So Life was, whenever I hear that song, like, just so much good energy was a part of that recording. It really was.
So did you record all 3 songs there that y'all put out, or were the other 2 recorded somewhere else?
So the second one was Coming Up for Air, and that's a hot take. That's my favorite song that we've released.
Cool.
I don't know why, but it's my favorite.
I wrote that in maybe like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We wrote that it was like half an hour. We wrote that very quickly.
Sometimes you do, right? Sometimes it's just quick.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. I just love that song, and
it's very simple but very
and I think I love it because I didn't put too much thought into it.
We recorded it in our dorm in Tull Hall.
We recorded it on literally a USB mic, so not even like a real mic.
Way.
Like, no interface, nothing. So it's like very lo-fi, like, and it's it's
but
very
that's what we were going
lo-fi,
for. We wanted to be just what it is.
Oh, I love lo-fi music. I love music that's recorded just with one microphone, a USB mic. I think that you can make great art like that. It's just fun, and it's relatable too, because anybody can hear it and be like, I want to make music like that too.
Yeah.
And our accomplishment was when we recorded Life at the studio. They were like, this is the cheapest amp that's ever been recorded here.
Yeah.
I think I could say that. We were like, we did it.
Yeah, he was like the engineer, Wayne, my boss. I was like, I specifically want the sound that's coming from her amp. Like, I think it sounds so cool. And he was like, you literally want me to record this amp? I was like, yes. And he was
they
like,
had a wall of
he was like, this is the cheapest amp I've ever recorded. And I was like, well, you know what? It sounds good.
Yeah, I feel like that's just like how it like I've never bought a pedal before, and I used to be so insecure about that. I was just like, oh, I'm like a rock musician who doesn't own any pedals, and I used to use the presets on my amp. But now that I've had a couple more years, I'm like, wait, that's sick. Like if it sounds good and it feels right, who cares? Like it's not. I don't know. I personally don't really need to nitpick over the tone like that, you know.
For sure. But yeah, and then I guess like since we talked about the other two, Leo, we recorded here
Right.
at a house.
At the swamp?
No, we recorded it at a house on Benton Street, Benton Avenue.
Yeah, by 12th, in between 12th and 8th, kind of.
All Belmont kids are
It was
familiar
Belmont
with the basement
kids.
of Benton.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And so Eric Freisinger, I don't know how to say his last name. He recorded us, and then my friend Maddie Harmon mixed it, and then what was really cool, his name is in my mind, but this guy mastered it, who like mastered some of Elton John's work.
What?
A bunch of stuff.
Got the hook up.
And
dude, that's sick.
So that was really cool, like just talking to him. I mean, obviously like mastering isn't like a huge part of the creative process. I mean, it is, but it isn't. So I mean, it would have been cool when like that would have mixed it too, but Maddie did such a good job, and she, like, we owe her so much.
Maddie Harmon, you say?
Yeah.
Cool.
She's an audio engineering student at Belmont. She had been working for Universal Music Group as an intern, but now she works for this other guy who works for the band. She's really good. I'm like,
yeah. Do you feel like going to Belmont that you've met like some really cool people who have helped your music and had a cool community, or is it more of like a Nashville thing, or I mean, coming here to, because y'all both moved to town for school from Beth from Asheville, and then what city did you say you're from?
From Thomaston, Georgia.
From Thomaston, near Milledgeville, right? Isn't that what we said? Or an hour from?
It's not even as good. That's saying something. You know, like it's an interesting place, but very rural.
Yeah. A lot different, yeah. What was it like moving here for y'all?
I always knew my parents were from Atlanta, but I grew up in Atlanta, so I was made for living in a city. Even as a child, I was like, I don't like it here.
Yeah, right.
Like I also knew, like I always knew I was wanted more community, like just different, would have fit in better in a city like this. But I think that Nashville is the place to be to create music right now. Like it's just such, like people, you just network, you meet people, everyone you meet is creative or can mix or master or wants to help each other out, or oh, you need strings, or oh, you need, BGVs, like I got you. It's such like a thing.
Yeah.
And then having Belmont on top of that, where you have such, like everyone who goes to Belmont is proud of Belmont, or like for the most part, like it's the community. For the most part. We don't go there, but like it's just so easy to be like to connect with people and make stuff happen. At Belmont, like it just.
To me, like the most amazing part about like moving to Nashville is just like how kind and willing people are to help each other. Because for me, like in Asheville, like there is a music scene there, but it's like way more competitive. And I mean, every music scene is competitive, but like for me, like as an audio engineer, it's like no one can really get into the field without help, like without a connection. And so like finding people like you who are willing to like hang out and talk to people who have like, I mean, you have way more experience than me. Like you have way more experience. The fact that you want to interview us is like, like it's a great thing. And meeting you led to meeting a bunch of other people as well. And like just how like close knit everyone is when you really look at it. And I don't know, it's just really cool. It's a great place.
It is a really special place. I oftentimes wonder, like, because I like the culture in Nashville, and I feel like the fact that everybody's creating stuff inspires me and encourages me. But at the same time, I'm like intimidated of cities like LA and New York because I'm afraid when I get there that it would just be more toxic. But I don't even know if that's true. Like maybe people in New York and LA are equally as helpful and generous, but it definitely does surprise me with Nashville every day. I'm always just like, wow, I can't believe how special and generous people are, whether it's specifically here or just in every city. I personally don't know because I've lived here my whole life, so I've never really dug in anywhere else. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
LA, I will say,
I don't think I could survive.
I don't think
LA.
I could do LA. I could do New York, the New York thing. I'm not as intimidated, even though like I am.
Yeah.
LA, there's like I just don't think I mean, but yeah, I've never lived there, so I can't say.
Yeah.
But it does. It does seem less authentic, or like the stereotype is that people are superficial, which is not true for everyone.
Yeah.
It's very intimidating. Nashville seems a lot less. It's smaller, but also got that southern hospitality, and I don't know.
I personally do want to move to New York. I want to move around
Really?
a lot though. Yeah, I really want to hop around, but I think I want to live in New York for like 2 years or something. Just to work with some of the people that are up there.
Wow.
A lot of my inspiration like comes from people up there. So I don't know. I want to go to London, New York. I want to go, this smaller niche places, but I want to come back here obviously at some point.
Wow,
What about
that's crazy. That's cool.
Yeah, I personally like to. I've always thought eventually I'll end up back in Asheville and try to make a music scene there again, like with like bring back what I've learned and maybe like start a studio. I don't know. That's like the big idea, but
Cool. Yeah.
you never know where life is gonna take you, and like I'm just
Exactly.
kind of along for the ride. But
Exactly. Yeah. As much as I love Nashville, I know that I won't live here my whole life. Like I want to live in different cities. There's
Yeah.
good music. London is a big one. I personally love London.
yeah,
So it's ways away, but New
Yeah.
York and London really.
Wow. That's so. Wait, if you guys both love New York and London, and you're in a band together, do you foresee this band like moving to new locations and like working in different scenes and different like cultural contexts?
I don't know. Maybe.
Well, with Venditty, I mean, like, is that a project y'all want to keep doing outside of school? Like, is that something you would keep pursuing, or is it more just like a creative endeavor? You know what I mean? Or have you thought about that? Maybe you don't have to.
Yeah, I think it's hard to say because since it has been a little bit of a challenge to like keep going with, like I feel like maybe eventually we'll like since it does require multiple people, like maybe eventually we'll start something that like doesn't require it, like maybe like just the two of us, or I work on music to the side just myself, and like I think we'll always have something like Venditty. I don't know if Venditty will stay forever after college, but like
Right.
it's
It
definitely
is a great outlet for working creatively together, and what that looks like in the future, we don't know.
Yeah, I mean it'd be
That's
super
okay.
cool if we could release something with Venditty that like has some sort of success, and maybe if it does then we'll keep going with it, but if not, try something new.
If not, I'm still proud of it.
Yeah.
Still love
Yeah.
it.
Right. Well, with you, Beth. I mean, I know that you're talking about saying maybe like one day, eventually going back to Asheville and starting a studio. Do you feel more drawn towards like production or towards engineering versus like artistry when it comes to music?
It's like so hard for me because I so drawn to both.
Yeah.
I like I don't know. So basically, I'm a huge perfectionist, and a part of that is just like I have anxiety. Like I have OCD. I have like all these things that like go into it to where sometimes the working on the music itself, my music is too much for me. Like it just takes too much out of me sometimes.
Right.
And I love to sing. I love to play instruments, but the pressure that I put on myself, at least sometimes, it's just like too much for me. Um, and
Sure.
so that's why I take it into music production and engineering, because I'm still just as creative and I'm helping create a song, but it's not under my name. And it's
Right.
like, it's funny that it takes that for me to like feel more comfortable almost, but I do want to do both my whole life. Like, I think that most likely the music production side, like being a music producer, would probably be like my career. But like, I'll always be making music, hopefully, always releasing music. I just probably won't be putting in as much effort into that as the other. But I
Right.
mean, yeah, I want to help people from the like a start of a song to releasing it. Um, I want to be able to be putting out art even if I'm not the artist on it. So
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's interesting. And I mean, again, like sometimes I'm like, maybe like that's totally not what I'm gonna do. Maybe I'll end up doing something completely random that I haven't heard of yet. And
Yeah.
like that's fine too if I'm happy, like that's all that matters. But it's definitely something that is something I want to do if I can. But
Yeah.
I don't
I
know.
mean, that makes sense. I mean, it when you are an artist and you're taking a literally just a blank canvas and creating like songwriting and then recording and then performing and like it is a lot of it's a lot of work, but it's also more so um a lot of direction that you kind of have to will out of you. And it's like sometimes I think being just like getting to be a producer on a project or like an engineer or even just like an instrumentalist, like I definitely see how it's attractive in a sense to where you don't have to just like think about all these so many different parts of the project, you know?
Focus on like like making the song sound as best you can help it sound. So it's like not the full picture, but a part of a really important part. But like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, you can ask Jules. Like every single song that we've put out, I don't like the way I sound on it.
Yeah.
Like every song that I write, I think sounds stupid. Like
Mm-hmm.
Your worst critic.
so that's where it's like for me, sometimes it's easier to just compartmentalize that and work on it in a like more subjective way.
Yeah, yeah.
But either way, it's always still in the music. It's always still in the creativity for me. It's never like when I say like I'm an audio engineering major, it's like engineering isn't really what I think of it as at all. Like I'm not like scientifically or mathematically based. I'm fully like creative based. But
Right. Yeah. And it is more of a creative thing than the name really gives off, you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Right. That, yeah.
Like producers can have the same ear if they're not a musician in some way. Like
Yeah.
I just think that you don't have to be, but like
it's really important.
It really is really important.
Right.
Everything fits together.
Yeah. Right. Do you feel like it's, I mean, maybe that's part of what makes the band dynamic uh, so helpful. Is it like Beth, like if you were just doing a completely solo project, you wouldn't have anyone to be like, let's call this, like having Jules be like, I think this sounds good. You know, I can see how that could be encouraging to help just get a song release, you know?
For sure. I mean, I
was solo, I would still be working on my first song, or like I don't know. I'm just
Yeah, really. Are you the same way as Beth in that?
We're actually like complete opposites, when it comes to work, but it works well together. Sometimes we get really annoyed with each other, I feel like, when we do it times, but like it's for the best. Like
I know how to deal with it. I'm like very scatterbrained. I am all over the place. I'm not detail oriented. These are all traits I wish that I had.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
And I'm just too chill to the point where sometimes I don't get things accomplished in a timely manner. To say it lightly. I'm just, I'm working on it. Especially this summer, it's been rough, but like, just because we're all just kind of floating around. But I can be too go with the flow, sometimes.
And I hate it because I wish I could be like that. Like,
it's the worst. It's a dumpster fire every day. So unorganized. Terrible.
But it just works well because then she relaxes me, and I'm the one that's like, you have to do this, and like
yin and yang,
this.
Yeah,
this
right.
is horrible if you don't do this, and like I hate that my brain works like that. It's horrible, but like the balance of it is perfect.
It's good.
Yeah, I think those are all strengths, and especially when you use them together, I think that being able to just like combine those skills and those strengths, you can really have a cool thing going together. That's really special that y'all have found each other.
Like how do I would have to people like wanting to start a band, like find people who are different from you. If you are chill and you're like the most laid back dude or woman, you like get people who have different approaches to make sure that things get accomplished, and like that you have a good mix of different work styles, and like obviously not too different. Like you have to be able to work together.
Right. Yeah.
Get the yin and yang going.
Yeah.
With your team. Choose your team wisely.
That's a really good point.
You like get your work done, Freeze? I mean,
like what's my process?
Yeah, like which one are you more similar to? I guess of the yin and yang.
I think with music, I relate to what you're saying, Beth, about like. I think one thing that slows me down from releasing more music is that there's too many possibilities. It's too endless, and so I get to where I'm just like, I don't even know how to start. Like I have ideas for an entire album, but then I can't get the first note down. Like I'm like, oh, this is a great concept, and I can picture the artwork and like the production style and even like the lyrics, like what they would be about. But then I want it to be so perfect that I have a hard time like starting it. So I'd say that's kind of my tendency when it comes to like making music. But that's within the last 5 years. Before that, like when I was in high school, it was more I would just make stuff quicker because I didn't feel as much pressure, and I was just having fun. And so I made like album after album in high school with like different bands and solo projects, and I was just having fun.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think
I have a similar thing where I love thinking big picture, but taking the first step
is so hard
because there's so many first steps you can take, and you have to pick the right path, and it can be daunting, and it will keep me procrastinating.
Right. Yeah.
And especially like with quarantine, I don't know if you felt like this, but with quarantine, I like have had a super hard time of like actually putting pencil to paper with songs because
yes,
like, I cannot write a song right now. It's like too much for me. I don't know why. I haven't been everything inspired right now. It's like harder right now, but that's just me personally. I don't know.
No, I think that's very true. I think there's like there's no structure or incentive to finish anything, so it's hard to know when you should be done with things, because not like, oh, it'd be awesome to have this out by this show or like before the end of the school year. It's just like, well, everything's just endlessly floating, and I don't know how to like know whether I should like rush something, because sometimes rushing something a little bit helps it get done, or like you don't always want to cram the way you have to. But now if there's none of that, and there's no one, like I feel like no one's holding me accountable, I can just float forever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's difficult.
I was doing like when I was home before I moved back, because we lived on campus like last year, so we didn't have this house until this summer, and so I was home until June, like from like April to June. When I was home, I was a lot better about like practicing and writing, and then as soon as I got here, I was like, nothing. But
I'm playing. I'm supposed to be playing. joining like the symphony at Belmont, which I play in the string chamber.
That's so cool.
I'm still like, it's something that's really fun because there's not a lot of pressure. Like playing in an orchestra is really nice because you're just a big cog in a machine and you hear all of everything going. And
yeah.
Like it's just so relaxing to me. It messes up my schedule with my classes, but I still have to do it. It's just one extra credit. But I'm supposed to be practicing, but I don't know if that's even gonna happen at Belmont. Like I don't know how they would do that, having that many people in a room.
Right.
So I'm like, oh well. I get to where I'm like, okay, it's hard for me to like. There's no incentive. I don't think that's gonna happen.
All
like,
the
I haven't been playing much, like violin or cello or anything. So, but it's about you need to create for the sake of creating.
Yeah.
But it's easier said than done.
Totally.
So,
that's so cool that you do that. I forget. So you play cello and violin?
Mostly violin. I picked that up when I was 4.
When you were 4?
I was an early child with that. I spent my entire life music lessons. Literally my whole childhood, just music lessons all the time. I was up to like 3 days a week music lessons.
Whoa! All for violin?
Violin, and then I picked up cello is kind of like a side instrument. I'm not super great with it. That's okay. It's very similar, and then obviously I picked up guitar. Well, I started with piano and violin.
Do you still play piano?
No, I don't play piano anymore. Okay. I like started when I was about 5 and 6. I did piano lessons for about 4 or 5 years, but I kind of lost that.
Yeah, right.
Okay. Yeah.
That's really cool.
When I was 12. I peaked when I was 12.
Whoa. Wait. What'd you do when you were 12? What'd you say?
I was with an all-violin orchestra, and we played in the International Music Festival at Carnegie Hall.
Wow.
Who was a part of the group, and I got to like train with them. But they were out of Oregon, and I was in Georgia with my group, and we joined them, and then together. And I was a nervous wreck, and it was amazing. And
it's funny because we like both kind of come from classical backgrounds because I am like I was always a huge choir person.
Yeah.
Choir gal, but I wish I had like one instrument. I mean, technically voice is that instrument for me, but I wish I had like a physical instrument that I like studied. I play bass. I studied bass for so long, and then I like it scares me to pick it up. Oh, I don't know.
Wow, but, really?
Yeah, I was so good at it, and then I didn't practice for like 2 years. It makes me so mad.
I bet you can't lose it even in 2 years, though. I feel like you'd still have to have a lot of that memory, right?
I do.
We both need to. The moral of the story is we both need to make sure each other practice.
I found like an old I listened to an old voice memo that was of me like playing a bass line that I wrote to "Fly Me to the Moon" by Frank Sinatra like in 2000.
Whoa, cool!
So good. And now I like literally am. Sometimes I forget like what notes I'm playing all the time on bass now because I don't know. Well, it's just I have to relearn it a little
Nashville's
bit.
So intimidating because I know everyone can relate when they move here. They're musicians. I'm sure, like, everyone's always grown up. Everyone always is like, oh, you're so amazing. Like, I was like the only violinist in my entire town. Like, I played for weddings. I got hired to do all this stuff because there was no competition. Like, everyone was like, oh, you're fantastic because I've never heard anyone play violin before. So, like, people get here and then really everyone's good. like, oh, people are so sick. The competition goes way up. It can be really discouraging, especially at a place like Belmont. Like, I've heard everyone who's musicians say that. Like, oh, you get here, you get depressed for a while because everyone is so good. And you don't have everyone saying, oh, you're so good all the time, So
yeah, right. At the same time, though, I feel like that beginner's luck is like a little bit encouraged. Like I'm kind of, I don't know. I think it's special that people can come here, even if maybe sometimes they have a little bit too much ego, that they can like arrive and be like, yeah, like I'm this is something I enjoy and something I'm passionate about, and also I thrive at to some extent. And I almost think it's a shame that people get knocked. So I mean, in some ways it might be healthy to be realized, but I don't know. In other ways, I feel like it is good to have that confidence. You know?
Yeah, you get the perspective.
Get knocked down.
You get knocked, but then you bounce back from it, and you're like, oh, okay, I'm a part of this community now. Like,
yeah, because like with going, like when I first got to Belmont, I was like, I wanted to play bass in a band. That was the original idea. I was like, I just want someone to just like ask me to play bass in their band, and I just thought that was gonna happen. Yeah, Jody. I just thought that was gonna happen. Like I just thought someone was gonna ask me to play bass for them. Like I don't know. And then I realized like no one was just gonna randomly approach me and do that. And I didn't think I was good enough to sing in a band at Belmont compared to everyone else. And then finally I just like got over myself and was like, I don't have a typical voice. I don't have like, you know, like a pop artist. Like my voice is a little weird and unique, but like I love weird and unique voices. So why not try it out? Mm-hmm. And so that was just like, it's just taking the leap. Like,
right.
No one's perfect.
Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing that I learned from like DIY touring is that the bands that I see who are out there working hard, oftentimes are not the bands that are like the most like talented at their instrument, or maybe even the best songwriters. To some extent, it might just be that they like are good at their instrument, good at songwriting, and know how to book a tour. You know what I mean? It's like there's so much that goes into artistry, and that's why part of why it bums me out that people get so bogged down when they get here is because it really doesn't matter if you're an amazing instrumentalist or like if you're the best at anything. Like what it means to be an artist is to be yourself. And I feel like sometimes, I don't know, to some extent maybe it's good to like if you do come in thinking you're hot stuff, but like I don't know, sometimes I wish that people could just keep a little bit of that confidence so they could just keep creating, because you do create when you're like comfortable, you know what I mean, when you feel like you can, like, you have a message to share. And when you lose that, that can be devastating. I think sometimes the opposite, the downer about living in Nashville is that sometimes I lose a little bit of faith in myself because I just get so intimidated, and I'm like, oh, what's the point? Like, what's the point of making music? You know, like everybody else is so good.
This helps you grow to become a better artist. Like, you have to like, feel that way, but it's what you do with that.
Yeah. Okay. And I think
let's make sure I don't feel like this again, or let's see where I can go from. Oh, I'm feeling intimidating. Okay, now what? Now let me set myself apart and put in more effort, and so it like helps you grow. Because healthy competition is,
for sure. I agree with that.
What I constantly think about too, though, with like artists and stuff, that like I try to like remind myself as much as possible is like, as much as it's about the music and being a musician, it's also about just being like a human and being like a likable, nice, friendly person. Like, I don't care how talented you are. If you're not nice to me when I come up and talk to you, like, I'm not going to listen to your music probably after that. Like, I don't want to be around people that, you know, don't want to, I don't know, like, talk to other people or think that they are the only person that exists in the world and like everything wraps around them. And I think about all of the amazing musicians that I listen to from like the past, and I'm like, I mean, they're not the best singer ever, or they're not,
right?
You know, it's all in the energy and like the creativity and like what they see themselves as and what they created themselves to be.
Because if you're a good person and you're an authentic musician, then you see through that. You see that they're a good person. But like, when you have artists that are not authentic, like take the Strokes for example, a fantastic definition of this. They are assholes. They formed their band at the richest private school in the world in Switzerland. They didn't know how to play music. They like were popular for one record, and then people saw right through them, and they're like, oh, these people, you know, like they literally wrote a song like, is this, like, their album, Is This It? It's like, is it? Because they don't know. Like, you see right through it, and then, you know, like,
whoa,
have to be authentic, and when you can see
Yeah.
through that, and even if you don't think to yourself, oh, I like this music, this artist is a great person, like, I don't know, it translates into their work. And
Yeah.
Right.
and also it ruins it when you're like, oh, I know this person, they just came out with a new song, but they're super real.
Yeah, right. That's such a downer, and I think that is like one
Yeah.
of the I think that's one of the bad raps that like Belmont kids get. Like I think that's something that you have to fight a little bit in Nashville. Is that there
Yeah.
is this culture of like kids coming into town and being like, "Oh, I'm hot stuff," and I've already got it, and it's like, dude, why are like if you're not a nice person, nobody's gonna want to help you.
And I mean,
And if you're
we've
making
come into contact with a lot of people like that at Belmont. Like,
there are some people who will only make connections with you that will benefit them in their
Right.
career, which is just messed up. Like, you should want to be friends with people and other artists for the sake of them being with them as a person, like not just for them to somehow benefit you.
Yeah.
Because you're just wrapped up in it.
And
that
then
is such a
Right.
such a problem I've run into.
And then you get the clicks and everything.
Yeah.
And like, I know that's natural, and like a lot of people sometimes won't even realize that they're doing it, and like everyone makes mistakes, obviously, but yeah, that's like a huge thing for me is like with musicians, like just be a good person, like just be a good person, and like genuinely make connections with people. Like networking is great. I love to network so much, but also like just be.
There's a good and bad way to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There really is, and sometimes it's a little bit. I even have to question myself sometimes. I hope that I'm like being as genuine as I can. You know what I mean? Like it, because when you are like all artists and you're like talking to other artists, like there is sometimes there's like a mutual gain from that relationship, but but also I feel like when you meet someone who you can tell just wants to know you because of your like, because you can help them with clout. I feel like you realize that pretty quickly. I feel like I don't know.
I think it with like if it's purely networking, it's like so important that they're like both people are getting a benefit. It's not like one-sided. But also, yeah, I feel the same way because sometimes I'm worried that I come across as like, I want to know you because you've done this, and that's really cool. And I don't want to come across as like, I want to know you because you checked this off. It's because I genuinely am so interested in someone and like want to know more about them and want to know how they did what they did. But also I want to be their friend. Like,
yeah.
I think they're so cool, but it's hard. It's definitely a fine line. It's hard. I always get worried about that too. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, it's like you have to. On the one hand, it's obvious when certain people are behaving that way, but then yeah, it is almost like there's a little bit of it in all of us. Like when we all have to like kind of check ourselves, and at the same time, it's like I feel like I do kind of learn a language when I'm communicating with other artists, and also try to like give people grace. Like I'm like if I perceive someone that way at first, I'm like, well, you know, maybe they're just nervous, or maybe they're just, you know, not everyone's great at communicating at all. So,
absolutely.
you know.
Yeah, I'm not either.
And now in quarantine, I'm like, I don't know how to beep boop bop. I don't know how to legalize it. I get
Yeah, I feel that.
What you been up to? I'm like,
That's a hard question to answer anyway, though. It's like, what have I been up to? I don't know. Sometimes a week passes and I'm like, I don't know what I did.
Socialize.
Yeah.
That though.
Wait, have y'all been in the swamp? The swamp. Wasn't there another word?
The Sigler Swamp.
Sigler Swamp. Y'all been here all summer?
Yeah.
She has been.
I was the first one to move in. This house was empty. It's a 5-bedroom bungalow.
Whoa.
Last couple of days of people.
We got very lucky with this house. It's like
a mile from Belmont.
It's right off of Music Row in the Gulch, and it is the last house that's like all over here.
Yeah, right.
Obviously. But yeah, we got really lucky. I moved in June, and then we have our 3 other roommates who are great. And they all go to Belmont as well, and
that's awesome.
Trying to do our best in Corona time.
Yeah, well, I think you're definitely doing it. Did you guys get on the roof yet? Did you guys get the courage to go on the roof?
I want to so bad. Did they really?
Yeah.
I want to really bad. You'll have to come back, and so I can get the courage to do it.
Yes, you should.
I did it when you did. I like almost did, but
Free.
I don't know.
He came up when we recorded Vibetown, and danced on our roof, and just like walked around it, and we were just
we were like,
hello, where'd you go?
It was a beautiful roof. It's like really high up, and I could see a lot of cool sights from it. So
I'm gonna have to go up after this.
yeah, I definitely recommend it. Let's see. I think we've about told this story for today. Like I feel good. We've talked about a lot of cool stuff. Is there anything else y'all want to talk about, or that y'all would want to like promote or mention with like Venditty or with Vibetown?
Well, we're plugging Vibetown. We're getting that going. Follow our Instagram page. We are Vibetown.
We.our Vibetown.
Vibetown. We're gonna post everything on YouTube. We'll have our own channel. We'll have it all linked. So easy access. On the Instagram, because that'll be the most accessible way to get connected. So.
Cool. That's awesome. Is it and it's like, is it specifically music, or is it just like creatives or like anyone?
Well, we're still figuring that out, but I think that we'll do mostly musicians. But I would love to have some spoken word, anything and everything that is
creative. Expression.
So, and we'll definitely get creative with it. And also like with our next one we'll post where Zach talked about his label or business type content as well will probably pop up for informational things. It'll be a mix of everything. Entertainment and like information.
But also like we are trying to make it funny. That's what with the editing, it's gonna hopefully be entertaining.
We're gonna get into the groove
also, make sure
wow, really
our episode with Freeze.
Are you editing, Beth?
So I'm like I'm an audio engineering major and a video production minor, so I'm like,
whoa, so this project is perfect for you.
I hope. I mean, I'm kind of struggling a little bit with some of it, but technology hates me, even though like I literally am supposed to know everything about it. But
she does the production and the audio side,
and Jules is like,
and I'm gonna be doing more of since I want to go into A&R, which is literally the hardest job you can get, but I'm determined. More like
artist relations, literally A&R.
Artist relations,
business, promotion. Sorry,
marketing.
Well, wait. So, are you studying A&R at Belmont? Is that a major?
No, I wish it was. Music business with production and business. So.
Interesting. So, what is A&R? I've never quite understood what that even is. Can you explain that to me?
It's artist and repertoire. So this is kind of the middleman between the artist and the label or publisher, but I'm more label side. So making sure the artist is getting fair deals. You start out as a talent scout, like finding people that represent the label well, people who want to be signed. I have a passion for discovering new artists. Like I just love it. Since I was a kid, I would burn my own CDs and be like, I found this person. Like, it's just always been in me.
Yeah.
So make good connections with Jules, because she could get you set up with the label later on.
Dang.
And also like guide once like talent scouts more like go out to venues and find people and do those contacts. But then once you go up the ranks in more director, representative type career, you sign artists, right? And then you be with them in their studio. You make sure guide them with their first album with the label, connect them with the marketing, the promotions. You kind of help them out, help them organize how they're going to get their first release going. It's it brings business and creativity together, which is what I need in my life, and so that's what I'm doing.
That sounds like a really cool job.
Hardest job to get into. There is no major.
Why?
You have to just shove your way in.
Just because there's
you just have to.
There's no experience that directly relates to A&R.
Yeah, you just have to be good
A&R.
at it. And at it is knowing who has the potential, knowing how to work with people, being able to.
I mean, being a people person, which you are.
I love people. So yeah, and getting an artist, helping them, making sure they're well represented, they're being treated fairly, that they are being authentic to what their brand and what they want to the world to see them as, and helping them make those decisions with what they start doing with people. So yeah, it's a really interesting job. It's I can talk about it all day. I love it. But anyone who's watching who's look at A&R, I mean, get in contact with me.
and music production is kind of the engineer version of that to an extent.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's like,
I'm terrible at production. It's my minor, but like I just terrible at it. Yeah. But I would be doing very minimal, just more like creative direction when it comes to stuff like that, which is good because I'm not good at the.
It's kind of like
the more engineered part of it.
Yeah.
Not as good. I could be if I tried, but I'm not.
Right.
So, yeah, it blends the two together: the business, the love for new artists, helping them out. So, yeah, A&R.
I can see how that would how your interests and studies and professional interest as well as yours, Beth, could align to make a really cool team for Vibetown for what you're working on together.
For sure.
So if you can't find the opportunities you need, make them.
Yes.
Yeah, right. That's really inspiring. Are we allowed to know anyone else who's going to be on the show? Anything we can look out for, or anyone y'all are talking to?
We have a couple.
We have a list.
Well,
of people.
Okay, we have one that's going to be pretty exciting. I think. I'll say one person that I'm excited about. Our friend Griffin Keefe is going to be on the show at some point.
Cool.
He's a Belmont artist. Well, he actually doesn't go to Belmont anymore. He went to Belmont for 2 years. And
wonderful artist.
I mean, he's
that would be a good one to watch.
I gotta write down this name. I've never heard of this person. Griffin Keefe.
Griffin Keefe, but his last name is spelled Keeffe.
Cool. Yeah, 2 F's. Here he is.
Yeah, he doesn't have any of his recent music.
He was the lead singer of Masick Porter when that was a thing. Belmont, the small.
Masick Porter.
Yeah,
they're broken up.
But he is he's one of my favorite. He's folk kind of inspired. He's spiritual in a way.
Cool.
It's really, and yeah, I'll have to send you I have videos of him playing. If you're interested, it's really good. But
we'll definitely post about that when that comes around. We just gotta get the logistics to correct.
Yeah, he's currently. Last I talked to him, he said he because since he's not going to Belmont, I was asking him hey, what are you doing? Otherwise,
right.
Really, he was oh, I got a job writing songs for Netflix. So
what?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was Griffin.
That's really insane.
Yeah, freaking out. Explain yourself. Oh my god.
So that's I'm really excited. Obviously, I was really excited about having you. I'm really excited about having him. Those are the two right now. That's those are the big ones for me right now. But
cool.
Hopefully, maybe get more people that people will know about. Yeah.
We do have a lot of friends coming up who are more on the smaller side that can help them out.
That definitely needs to get more.
Yeah, I always at the end of the episodes, I try to ask who I should bring on, but with y'all doing, y'all should too. And I guess also wanting to be an A&R, is there anyone else in Nashville in the scene that y'all would want to shout out? I know you've got a ton of friends, but is there anyone who you're just excited about or right now?
Divine Church.
Oh yeah, Kelsey.
The Divine Church.
The Divine. Oh my God, they're so cool.
Okay,
have you listened to them?
Yeah, totally. That project is crazy.
Yeah,
so cool. I love it. I think there needs to be more.
Who else? I'm trying to think.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Hold on.
Griffin would be going ask him about that gig. Oh
yeah, God. For real. That's cool.
Rain just
yeah, wait, I actually let me look. I want to see.
Yeah, you're good. Let's do this. Let's dig in.
No shortage.
Star fruit.
Oh, I love
Star Fruit.
Star fruit.
Cool. I don't know that project.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
a band. They're really good.
Opportunity. They have a song called Opportunity that was
Oh my
written about
God.
the Opportunity rover, and it's actually gotten pretty popular on Spotify. It's a fantastic song. All the guys who are in Starfruit are very nice,
Oh, cool.
and that would be a good one. That would be really good.
That's
And I
awesome.
just really Catherine kind of recently,
Yeah.
the past couple of months. So,
And then
that's my vote.
Yeah, Parafish would be really cool. There's so many people.
Parafish are fun.
Yeah. I mean, like literally, like all the different. I like am going through all the Belmont people. I mean, I don't know if Parafish are even here anymore. The thing with Feathers, they're cool.
They're cool.
Annie DeRusso. I mean, there's so many. Like, literally interview so many people. It'll be so cool.
Y'all know a lot of cool people. Y'all know a lot of cool people. That's awesome. Well,
well, you do too.
Thank you.
I want to get to know more of your friends too. So.
Yeah, dude. If anybody I know, you know, that y'all want to get on Vibetown, let me know. We can message them, see if we can get them on.
Oh my God, I would love
you
to.
do Kristen.
Yeah, you could do. I don't know if you.
That would be so sick.
Maybe. I hope so.
Or like Future Crib. I would love to get to know them more.
Yeah, they're so sweet.
Who else? I mean, I love Kelsey.
Yeah, Kelsey. Kelsey's coming on to promote a new song in about a week or two.
That's so exciting.
Yeah. The song sounds amazing. I'm so excited for her to share it with the world.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I appreciate all of the y'all naming some bands for me. And I appreciate y'all coming on. This has been really cool. If y'all ever have any
having us.
Yeah, I loved having you. If y'all ever, have any new music or anything you want to share and you want to get in front of the screen and talk about it some, then maybe we can do it again sometime. It's been really cool.
Love to have you at Vibetown anytime.
Welcome at the
Yeah, come hang at the swamp again. I would absolutely love that.
Come hang on the roof so I won't be chicken.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that together. Let's do it.
How about that?
Oh my God.
Yes. Yeah. Y'all just let me know. That'd be awesome.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Cool.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Enjoy the rest of y'all's day. It's been cool hanging out.
You.
Yeah. Peace out. Bye.